My parents screamed that this was my last Christmas as a freeloader in their home. My sister laughed while they asked me to scrub the floors without dinner. They had no idea who was funding the renovation they kept bragging about. My name is Nina, and I am 28 years old. For my entire life, I have been the forgotten daughter while my younger sister Jessica lived as the golden child who could do no wrong. Jessica is 25, chronically unemployed, and lives a lifestyle funded entirely by our parents. She parties 4 nights a week, quits jobs after weeks, and posts Instagram stories about living her best life while our parents applaud her free spirit. I went in the opposite direction. I worked hard, got my degree in tech consulting, and built a successful career. I make excellent money, the kind that would shock my family if they knew. But I never told them. I dress modestly, drive a 10-year-old car, and keep my financial success completely private. They assumed I was struggling. I let them believe it. For 2 years, I watched my parents stress about their aging house. The plumbing was failing. The roof leaked during every storm. The kitchen was 40 years old. They desperately wanted to renovate but couldn't afford the $150,000 price tag, so I decided to do something extraordinary. I would gift them the renovation for Christmas. I worked with a contractor named Martin under a fake company name. I paid deposits, planned every detail, selected materials. My parents thought they had been accepted into some kind of home improvement grant program. I never corrected them. I wanted the reveal to be my Christmas gift, the moment I showed them what their dismissed daughter had accomplished. The renovation was scheduled to start January the 2nd. I planned to tell them on Christmas Day. Christmas morning, I arrived at their house with thoughtful gifts for everyone. I had spent weeks selecting perfect presents, wrapping them carefully. Jessica showed up 2 hours late, hungover, empty-handed. Our parents rushed to hug her like she was a returning hero. "You work so hard, sweetheart," my mother Diane cooed. "You deserve to rest." Jessica hadn't held a job in 4 months. During dinner, the conversation turned to the renovation. My father Richard kept discussing it with barely contained excitement. "This renovation will finally make this house worthy of the family name," he announced, raising his wine glass. "No more living in this outdated disaster." My mother added, "When it's done, we'll only have people here who deserve to be in a beautiful home, people who have earned their place." Jessica smirked at me across the table. "Guess that means you'll have to find your own place, Nina. Can't have freeloaders in the new version of this house." My parents laughed. Actually laughed. My father turned to me, his smile cruel. "She's right, you know. This is your last Christmas being a freeloader in this family. Time you learn to stand on your own 2 feet like your sister." I opened my mouth to respond, but my mother cut me off. "You're just good for nothing compared to your sister. Jessica has ambition, drive, passion. You just coast along, taking up space." Jessica hadn't stopped smiling. She was enjoying this. I sat there, fork halfway to my mouth, unable to process what I was hearing. This was supposed to be the Christmas I revealed my gift. Instead, they were telling me I wasn't worthy of living in the house I was paying to renovate. After dinner, my father pointed toward the kitchen. "Before you leave tonight, you can make yourself useful for once. Clean the kitchen and all the bedrooms. Maybe you can earn your Christmas dinner through honest work." Jessica laughed. "Don't forget the bathrooms, Nina. They're absolutely disgusting. Someone has to clean them." I looked at my plate. I had barely eaten, too sick from their words to finish. My mother reached over and took my plate away. "No food until the work is done. Maybe hunger will motivate you to actually contribute something to this family." Something inside me went completely silent. I stood up slowly, grabbed my coat from the back of my chair. "I'm leaving," I said quietly. They laughed. All 3 of them. "Running away like always," my father called after me. "So dramatic, just like when you were a child." "Can't handle a little honest feedback," Jessica added. "This is why you'll never amount to anything." I walked to my car in the dark, sat in the driver's seat with the engine off. My hands were shaking, not from sadness, from clarity. I pulled out my phone and dialed Martin's number. "Martin, it's Nina Morrison. I need to cancel the renovation project, all of it, immediately. Silence on the other end. Nina, we start in a week. Everything's ordered. Your parents will be devastated. This is a $150,000 project. Send me the cancellation fees. I'll cover them. Every penny. My voice was steady now. And Martin, when my parents call asking what happened, and they will call, tell them the truth. Tell them their daughter Nina canceled the project and withdrew all funding. Are you sure about this? Completely. I ended the call and blocked my parents' numbers, blocked Jessica's too. Then I drove to my real home, the beautiful condo in the upscale neighborhood that my family had never seen because I never invited them. The place I bought 2 years ago with my own success. I walked inside and looked at the renovation plans still spread across my dining table. 2 years of planning, thousands in deposits, all designed to make them happy. I gathered the papers and put them in a folder, tucked it away in a drawer. They would discover the truth soon enough, and by then it would be far too late to take back what they said. Christmas night. I slept better than I had in years. The next morning, I made coffee in my quiet kitchen and checked social media out of habit. Jessica had posted a dozen photos from Christmas dinner. I was cropped out of every single one. The caption read, "Family time with the people who matter." 83 likes already. Our relatives commenting about how beautiful everyone looked. Her Instagram story was worse. "Can't wait for mom and dad's house glow up. Some of us earned our place in the family." I blocked her account and went back to my coffee. December 27th arrived. I was working from my home office when my phone started lighting up. Blocked numbers, 23 missed calls in 2 hours. My voicemail was full. Curiosity got the better of me. I unblocked my mother's number just long enough to listen. Her first voicemail, timestamp 9:47 a.m. "Nina, where are you? The contractor called this morning. He said the renovation is canceled. There must be some kind of mistake with the paperwork. Call us back immediately so we can fix this." Second voicemail, 11:15 a.m. My father this time. "Nina, this is ridiculous. Stop playing games. Whatever you think you're doing, call the contractor and fix it. This is childish behavior. Call me back." Third voicemail, 1:33 p.m. Jessica. "What the hell did you do? Mom is crying. Dad is losing his mind. Just fix whatever you broke and stop being dramatic." I deleted all 3 voicemails without responding and blocked them again. My phone buzzed with a text from my Aunt Margaret, my father's sister. She was one of the few family members who had always been kind to me. "Nina, your parents are freaking out. They're calling everyone trying to figure out what happened with their renovation. Do you know anything about this?" I didn't respond yet. Over the next hour, Margaret sent updates. They called the contractor demanding answers. Then, "Nina, they just found out you were paying for everything. They're in complete shock." I finally replied, "Good." Margaret called immediately. I answered, "Nina, what happened?" They called me a freeloader, made me clean their house without dinner, told me I wasn't good enough to live in their renovated home. So I canceled the $150,000 renovation I was paying for as their Christmas gift. Silence. Then Margaret whispered, "Oh honey, I'm so sorry." "Don't be, they showed me exactly who they are. They're desperate to talk to you. They didn't realize you had that kind of money. Your father keeps saying it's impossible." Of course they didn't realize. They never bothered to ask about my life. They just assumed I was failing. Margaret sighed. They want to apologize. They want the renovation back, not me. She couldn't argue with that. The blocked numbers kept calling. By December 28th of evening, I had 46 missed calls. I was working from home when my doorbell camera alert went off. A car I recognized was pulling up to my building, my parents' sedan. Jessica was with them. They got out and stood on the sidewalk, looking around at the upscale neighborhood with visible confusion. This wasn't the struggling daughter apartment complex they had imagined. My phone buzzed. "Margaret. I'm sorry. Jessica found your address through an old piece of mail at their house. They're on their way to you." Too late. They were already here. The doorbell rang. I could hear them through the door. My father's voice, loud and demanding. "Nina, open this door right now. We need to talk about this misunderstanding. My mother. Please, sweetheart, let us explain. Jessica. Stop being ridiculous and open the door. I stood in my entryway, looking through the peephole at the 3 people who had spent my entire life making me feel worthless. They rang the bell again, knocked harder. I took a deep breath. They were about to learn exactly what their words had cost them. I opened the door. All 3 of them froze, staring past me into my condo. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city, designer furniture, original artwork on the walls. This wasn't the struggling freeloader's apartment they had imagined. My father recovered first, though his eyes kept darting around my home. Nina, we need to discuss this renovation situation. There's been a terrible misunderstanding. No misunderstanding, I said calmly. I paid for your renovation. You called me a freeloader and denied me dinner. I canceled it. Pretty straightforward. My mother pushed forward, tears already streaming down her face. Sweetheart, we didn't know. We never would have said those things if we knew you had money. This is all just a horrible mistake. Exactly, I said, my voice perfectly level. You would have been nice to me if you knew I had something you wanted. That's not love, Mom. That's manipulation. Jessica stepped up, her voice sharp and defensive. You're seriously punishing us because your feelings got hurt? That's pathetic, Nina. We're family. You owe us. I owe you nothing. My voice cut through hers like ice. I worked for 2 years planning that renovation. I wanted to give you something beautiful. Then you made me clean your house on an empty stomach while you laughed at me. You told me I wasn't good enough to live there once it was finished. My father's face went completely white. We were joking around. You know how we are. No. You weren't joking. And I'm done pretending you were. I stepped back and closed the door in their faces. The lock clicked into place. They rang the doorbell 17 times. I counted. Then they knocked. Then they shouted through the door. I turned off the doorbell sound and went back to my work. My Aunt Margaret called the next morning. They went home last night in complete shock. Your mother hasn't stopped crying. Your father keeps saying she had $150,000 and never told us. Jessica apparently had a complete meltdown in the car. Good, I said simply. Nina, they want to make this right. They're desperate. That house really does need the work. The plumbing is getting worse. The roof leaks are spreading. Then they can figure it out themselves, like adults, like I've been doing my entire life. The family group chat I had muted months ago exploded over the next week. I finally looked at it. Relatives were taking sides. Most sided with my parents initially, until Margaret told them exactly what had been said to me on Christmas Day. The narrative shifted fast. My cousins started messaging me privately. I always knew they treated you differently. Good for you for standing up to them. My parents sent a formal letter 2 weeks later. I found it in my mailbox, typed and printed like a business document. No apology for their words. Just a polite request to reconsider the business arrangement and not let emotions cloud good judgment regarding the family home. I threw it in the recycling without responding. Jessica posted a vague Instagram story a few days later. Some people choose money over family. Says everything you need to know about their character. I blocked her account without a second thought. I threw myself into my work with renewed energy. Without the constant weight of trying to win my family's approval, everything felt lighter, easier. I stopped checking if they had called, stopped wondering if they were sorry. My Aunt Margaret and I grew much closer. She took me to lunch every few weeks. You gave them chance after chance, she told me over coffee one afternoon. They chose to see you as less than. That's on them, not you. I started spending holidays with friends, with Margaret, with people who valued me before they knew my bank account balance. 3 months after Christmas, I was promoted to senior consultant. I celebrated with a dinner party at my condo. 15 people who had actually celebrated my successes before, who showed up when I needed them. Not one member of my immediate family was there, and I didn't miss them. I don't feel guilty. I feel free. They taught me the most important lesson I ever learned. Never give your best to people who only see you at your worst. Thanks for listening to the end. If you have ever been treated as less than by family who only valued you when you had something to offer, remember this: you don't owe anyone access to your success if they weren't there during your struggle. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about standing up to toxic family dynamics and choosing yourself first.